trying to connect this. Is it working? All right, I think it's working. All right. We should be live. I don't know why it keeps like being jittery and freezing. It's never been like this before. What is the issue? There should be no issue. Okay. I think everything's working. I think it should be working. If I do this, is it gonna like stop the thing? Am I frozen? I'm not frozen. Okay, I think it's good. I wish my light would be more focused on me. All right. I think we're good. Let me edit this. When did it get to December? It's already October 5th.
No.
I feel like it just became October. All right. Cool.
What's he gonna write?
Let me post it up. And then we can get going. Dude, of course my internet is slow right now. You want to go on YouTube and send me this link because my YouTube app won't load?
The link of us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then can you
Over Snap or
yeah, that works.
Discord? Okay.
Snap works. Can you also make sure it's
Audio?
yeah, can you make sure the audio is good?
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is
The link
good.
of us. Yeah, audio's good.
Cool.
Over Snap or yeah, Discord.
Perfect.
You know what? We don't have a link to YouTube on the website.
Well, that's pretty dumb.
Gotta get Kevin on that.
It's not on the link tree?
Well, now we don't have the
He
link
said-
tree because
Yeah, that's true. Didn't he say he had the link tree embedded in the website?
homepage, Twitter, SoundCloud, Instagram, Spotify, Apple. That's all we have.
All right. We'll figure that out later. Let's get going. Let's get started. Tired. All this baloney.
Is there a rant coming?
No, there's. There probably will be, but let's just get started.
All right.
Getting ready. Let me get my timer set up. Stopwatch. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always, Megan. Did I freaking just lose you on the intro? Oh, I lost my internet
What?
connection. Oh, all right, we're good. Dude, you were just sitting there frozen. I was just like, I'm like, this is a great, perfect way to start. Cold opening.
About to be an implosion.
I was just about to lose it right at the beginning. All right. I didn't hear what
This
you
is
said.
your safe haven.
I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say, Chris?
I said, how you guys doing?
Nah, I'm trying. All right. I'm not doing good, Chris. I'm not doing good. Got my bike stolen. Everyone sucks. No one's helpful. Let's talk about some sports.
This is the safe haven.
Yeah, this
This
is
is
my
the place
safe
to be.
spot.
It's
Yeah.
the Happy Gilmore. Go to your happy place.
Yes, this is my happy place. I have a mullet. I mean, it's a whole wreck that's going on right now. Anyways, let's get right into it. Let's get started. Let's start off with our red hot wise picks. And
Well, your red hot wise picks. Mine weren't great.
that's fair. That's fair. But to collectively, pretty damn well. So you start off with your first pick, Chris. What happened here on the
The
Titans?
Titans against the Jets. I mean, that was a trap that I was just like, it's so clearly
right
a
into it.
trap, but the Jets are so bad that it can't, like, they have to still, Titans still have to murder them, right? And then Julio and A.J. Brown didn't play, and I was like, it still probably doesn't matter. They're still probably going to win by a touchdown. They didn't, so I don't know. I didn't use the reverse logic, and that came back to bite me. So
The Jets were served to you on a silver platter, and
Yeah.
you just didn't realize that there was a bear trap underneath the platter.
I thought about it. I thought it through.
You thought maybe there's a mouse trap, but there was a
I
bear
said
trap.
this is
there.
way too good to be true.
It's a bear trap.
It's a mousetrap, and I can just, mousetrap will do nothing to me. I'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Bear trap I couldn't get out of.
what's funny for the Titans is that, of course, it was Corey Davis that went off against them. It seems like when the Jets win, it has to be some personal reasons, right?
Yeah.
So they can't just outright win. There has to be a vendetta against the other team.
Mhm.
So Corey Davis said, "Oh, all of you want Julio Jones? All of them are injured. Well, you should wish you had me." So
Tannehill got sacked 7 times in that game.
I know.
I don't know how that happens.
He got sacked 5 times first game, 5 times by Chandler Jones first game.
Yeah, but those were by good players.
I know.
This is the Jets.
It's bad. If I was a Titans fan, I'd be worried.
I would be worried too. I mean, that division, I don't know who comes out of that division. They're all terrible.
Yeah, that division sucks.
It's week 5, and the Houston Texans are a game out of first place.
I know, with 1 win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you
and
do.
the
if you're a
1 win was
Titans
against
fan.
the Jaguars, who have 0 wins.
I
We
guess
need to-
you just say the division's so bad, and these guys aren't going to be hurt all year, so I guess don't panic. But like, you're not going anywhere in the playoffs with this team.
And
I
I
think
they
like
can't
at this
protect
point in the
Tannehill
season, it's
against
week
the
4 already.
Jets.
Yeah, no, he looked terrible,
If
and
you
the
can't
line
protect
is
Tannehill
terrible.
against the Jets, that's bad.
Yeah. So I feel like it's gotten to the point of the season where the overreactions are kind of just settling into like reality almost.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a Tennessee fan, you're hurting right now.
Yeah, what do you say? It's like, well, we got to protect them better. It's like, yeah, of course, but when the Jets are letting all these sacks come up to you, there's issues.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can't even get to the Jets. Why did they sign Bud Dupree if they can't get to the Jets? They had 1 sack compared to the 7 on the other side.
I don't know. Wilson looked good
He did.
in the second half, at least. He looked
I'll
good,
admit,
so
he
that's
looked good.
encouraging.
They
But he's
have
looked
nothing in the run
atrocious
game
his first 3
still,
games. No, they don't.
Their run game.
They need to bring Frank Gore back or something
They might as well
to get somebody going.
get someone in there. Well, that was a trap game, and you just didn't see it. A game that could have been a trap game, but the Chiefs are too good for that. The Chiefs versus Eagles. The Eagles just look bad. Talk about another.
Yeah,
division.
and it was
Your
like
division.
every aspect of the game, pretty much. Like, they actually could move the ball on offense, but then they would just take a penalty every time they get in the red zone and
Well, they
couldn't
don't run the
score.
football. They still don't. Just like we talked about last time, they still don't run the football. It doesn't make any sense. Why is Jalen Hurts throwing for 50 times?
I mean, at least against Kansas City, like I guess you figure you have to throw it. But I don't know. Looking at the score, they were never. It didn't really feel like a blowout until late in the game.
Yeah, they were up the first quarter.
Yeah. Like they were hanging in there. They kept showing it on red zone, and I was just waiting for the Chiefs to take over, and they really didn't until the end. And then you look up and you're like, oh, it's 42-20.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Chiefs, I mean, they're getting back in their mojo. They're getting back to doing whatever they want to do. So this will be, but like, I don't know. The Chiefs had felt no pressure all game,
Mhm.
as they
The
should.
Eagles' defense also is atrocious.
Yeah, it's
Like
buns.
they had that good week 1 against the Falcons, and since then it's been ugly. They got ripped apart by the Cowboys, ripped apart by the Chiefs. Obviously, two really good offenses, but they're another team that's they're like week 1 mirage, and now this is the third week now in a row where we're like, okay, this is who they actually are.
5 touchdowns from Mahomes.
Yeah, did throw another pick.
Yeah, he's been
Throwing
throwing
a lot of picks this year.
Throwing picks this year, and not a ton of yards. Now he's not like 400 a game like he was
Mm-hmm.
a couple of years ago. So
Yeah, they're vulnerable.
they are vulnerable.
This Chiefs team.
Well, because I think you can score against them. The Eagles can score
Mhm.
against them. You can you can score against them. It's just, especially like I don't know how you stop Tyreek Hill ever.
It still feels like they have that switch that they can flip whenever they really want to start scoring points. They just say, all right, we're going to do it now. And then they're unstoppable. It's just a matter of, can you score? It's literally like, it's all offense. It's, can you score enough points at the beginning of the game so that when they decide to start trying, you have like a big enough buffer.
Yeah, literally, that's it. It's just can you keep up with him, and or
Mhm.
have a big enough buffer for when Patrick Mahomes does make those mistakes that he has been making. So maybe that's the way out. That's the way for a good team to win. All right, another trap game, Chris.
How is this a trap?
This is this was like if you think like I don't know. Did we really think the Bears were gonna lose to the Lions?
All right, so I'm never picking the Lions again because the amount of crap that went on in that game, from the Lions standpoint, I couldn't even watch it. Like they had I think it was their first 3 drives. They all went inside the 10-yard line and they didn't score a point. They fumbled twice and then they got stuffed on a 4th and 1. And then they were down 21-0 at halftime. They came back too. They had it within. It was 24-14, and they had the ball in the red zone, a 4th and 1, and I was glad they went for it because I needed the 3 points for the cover, but they should definitely have just kicked the field goal. It was 4th and 1 from like the 10-yard line, down 10 points with 4 minutes left in the game, and they decided to go for it. And the play worked too. The guy, I couldn't tell if it was a bad throw. The guy dropped it, but it should have been a first down.
Well, I mean, when poor Jared Goff is getting like balls thrown at his penis and it's flying up and caught as a interception, it's like jeez, it's like what am I supposed to do here?
That's why I'm never picking the Lions again, even if I like them, because it's stuff like that you just can't avoid. That's who they are.
Yeah, it's in the Lions' nature. It's in their nature, and it's in Jared Goff's nature. They're just perfect. Jared Goff's a perfect Lions
meant
quarterback.
for each other.
Hmm.
They were meant for each other.
They were.
Jared
They
Goff
were meant
and the
for each other.
Lions.
Well, what really sucks is David Montgomery has the best game of his freaking season, and now he's injured. And of course, he's on my fantasy team. He's out for 5 weeks.
Yep.
So
I have him on another fantasy team, him and McCaffrey. So.
Bro, I have him and Joe Mixon. I got no one now.
Yeah.
I had to start Chuba Hubbard and freaking Mike Davis.
Well, Mike Davis is your guy. You shouldn't
Yeah,
complain about starting him.
He's still my guy. But he's not the Falcons guy. They'd rather use a wide receiver back there.
Cordell.
All right. Next game. Honestly, I think the most surprising loss I've had all season. Rams -4 versus Cardinals. I guess congrats to the Cardinals. You have the league MVP right now, just like you did last year.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait till someone gets hurt.
I don't even think it's that. I think that I think the wheels just come off at some point. I don't know. That's entirely like a gut call. I just don't believe in them yet.
I was coming in getting ready to get an apology, but I don't know. There's still something just off about this team.
I'm holding my ground until they win a Super Bowl.
Until they win.
Like they're gonna be frauds until the day they're holding up the trophy, and
That's
then I
fair.
will apologize.
That's fair.
But until that day, I'm riding the train that they're overrated.
And you think about it, their running back gets 10 yards of carry. AJ Green gets a long touchdown. Like, I don't know. This next time they face the Rams, those things are not happening.
Yeah,
Right?
and it's early in the season too.
The Rams just came off a gutsy win against the Buccaneers. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a perfect letdown spot.
Yeah.
It happened. Cardinals caught him at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals haven't played anyone yet. So, we'll see. But I'm standing my ground. I'm not going to give this one up just because they have one big win against a division team.
That is fair. And, yeah, division games, man. Division games, you never know. They're always toss-ups.
I love the 49ers next week.
Facing the Cardinals.
Yep.
Oh, my room is pitch black. I don't know. It's raining outside, so you're not going to be able to see me anyways. Anywho. What's next? Next up.
My one win, right?
Yeah?
Yep.
That was a good call. That was a gut.
That was the one that I
win.
felt most confident about, I think. Even though it wasn't my... Yeah, that's not true, actually. I'm just saying that because I want it, but... I mean, they were like, there was no way that this team...
Nah, I'm just lying.
That was just a lie.
That was a lie.
But there was no way this team was going 1-3. And I've been vocal about San Francisco being 10-7 as their ceiling. So
Jimmy G, do you think he's actually hurt? I think they just wanted Trey Lance.
Yeah, because I saw reports that were like nobody expected Trey Lance or wanted Trey Lance to be in the game this early.
And it makes sense because he didn't look very good. He had
and why would you? Yeah, there's no way that they would just take him out. Was it after halftime or was it?
Yeah, it was that was the weird thing for me. It was because he didn't start till the next half. So
yeah, no, they're the type of team that is gonna want to give their guy a whole week of preparation, not bench him like Jay Gruden did with Haskins. Oh, he is.
Like, remember they were like, "Oh, we really want Mac Jones. Oh, we really want he's just a liar." So I don't trust anything.
Yeah, no, everything he says you kind of just have to take with a grain of salt.
So like, yeah, that's why I saw that and I was like, "Oh, well, his Jimmy G. His knees hurt."
Yeah.
Like, oh,
and he doesn't like Jimmy G. Remember, he said he thought he was gonna kill him or something.
Yeah, he didn't even know if he was gonna survive till Sunday. God, dude, yeah, and Kyle Shanahan's a weird dude. So that's why I'm not. I'm starting a conspiracy theory. This is like a Jimmy, poor Jimmy. Let's get him out of there.
Think he's getting the short end of the stick?
I think he is. Because who do they have? Who do the Niners have next? The Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
If Trey Lance even looks competent against the Cardinals, Jimmy G's not coming back.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
So let's get Jimmy G.
What's the diagnosis of him though?
He's a knee.
Is he gonna miss?
Sure.
Like, is he gonna miss time?
I don't know. Kyle Shanahan will make sure he'll miss time.
Might have to miss time.
Yeah, exactly. I think Kyle Shanahan bashed his knee in. It's not like you can't tell me otherwise.
I don't disagree.
That's definitely an option because
it's on the table.
It is on the table. Let's get Jimmy on the Steelers.
Yeah, they desperately need help.
Let's get Jimmy on the Steelers. That's my next game.
Pick. Yeah,
Green Bay -6.5. Easy money. Easy money.
I thought you were square for that one, honestly.
Really?
Making that pick. Yeah. And then it came back. I mean, the Steelers are just bad, I guess. It's taken people time to realize it.
I was looking at picks
a lag
for next week, and they're playing the Broncos, who might not even have Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater, and I'm like, there's no way they go 1-4, right? Like, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh
Tomlin's
Steelers
never
don't go
had a losing season.
Yeah. But
they're not good though.
This team sucks.
Like, they're actually a bad team. They have all these guys on offense that are supposed to be good, and then they have a 100-year-old injured man.
Okay, also, they have the 100-year-old injured man, but all of their good weapons completely drop everything that's important.
That's true.
All of their quote unquote great weapons drop every important pass that's ever thrown to them.
That is true.
So how, like, of course, like, Ben looks terrible. I'm not gonna say that. This isn't a defense of Ben, but
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, at some point we just gotta say, all right, these guys aren't good.
Hmm.
Like,
Does
when is
Juju
how many
exist
how many
anymore?
how many games are Juju gonna have 2 catches for 11 yards and we're gonna be like, oh, Juju's still good? Or James Washington, how many drop balls? And Deontay Johnson, how many drop balls are we gonna have when we're gonna still say that they're good? Because at some point we have to say that they can't catch for shit because they can't,
Hmm.
right?
Well, at least Johnson has Johnson's putting up numbers.
Yes,
He's on my fantasy team. That's why I'm defending him.
Yes, Johnson has numbers this year, and I'd like Johnson as a talent, but I feel like that guy halfway through every game he's injured, and then he comes back somehow, hobbling on one leg. Also, I know it's the Packers.
Sense.
I know it's the Packers, but I think their defense is just bad too.
Yeah. Well, this is another one where it was like week 1, and this is why we don't pay attention to week 1 because they went into Buffalo, completely shut them down. We were like, oh, like we forgot that the Steelers defense was good, and now it's like, oh, never mind, they are that team from last year.
Yeah, they've been 2-8 since Chase Claypool was tweeted out losing never heard of her. So
good stat.
It's very funny too. And where the hell is he? Is he injured or
I don't know, honestly.
And
And
you
Najee
think
Harris,
after
too.
going 11-0 and then finishing for the first time ever, a team that started 11-0 finished what 12-4,
Mhm.
and they didn't get the 1 seed after being 11-0. You'd think that like they'd stop making fucking TikToks, right? Like, Jesus, guys. You'd think they'd start goofing around and actually play some football, but God, these are like, what a disappointment of a team. That being said, I love them for next week.
That's like the 49ers for me. It's the same
all that
way.
being said, I love them next week. All right. Anyways.
It's a weekly game.
Yeah, it's a weekly
game.
It's a weekly game. Your Monday night pick.
All right, so you made us do 4 picks this week, which worked out for you because, but you caught me on a cold week, so that's just 1 extra loss in my name. So I'm a little bit annoyed about that. The Raiders I don't know. I like to bet against the Chargers. It makes me feel good.
Because it's easy.
Like,
it's
either
like
way,
bullying. It's like bullying the fat kid, dude. When you bet against
when
the
you
Chargers,
lose, it's like, well, they're still the Chargers, so like it wasn't a bad
no matter
pick.
how good they are, it's like, well, at least they have bet the Chargers. Like they
right,
hit or miss every
you can't
time.
Especially feel bad about it.
3.5, you're like, well, they get a touchdown called back. You know,
Mhm.
that's easy money. You know.
This is a different Chargers team, though.
Yeah, this Chargers team's.
I think
Boltman's
I don't
back.
think I can do this
dude.
again.
If you knew Boltman was coming back, you
Yeah.
would have totally never bet the Raiders.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing that I knew was going to happen was that the stadium was going to be entirely black and gold.
Which
because
it was.
Los
They got
Angeles
booed walking in.
It's still a Raiders town, even though there's 2 teams that play there that aren't the Raiders. But it's like that's where the most passionate fans are, or that's who they root for.
Black Pit travels.
It's the Raiders. So I was like, it's basically a home game for the Raiders. They're basically 3.5-point dogs. And I don't know, the Chargers are good.
The Chargers are good. It's one of those things where they're like, the Chargers. You know, like you got it. It's time to say that Chargers are good. It's like, yeah, they actually are good. Like, look at the wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are good. You're right.
I kind of like. I feel like I've been going back and forth so much early on in the season with the picks I make and the things that I say on here. Because the Raiders, I've said, like, I still don't believe in them. They're like the Cardinals in the way where it's like they keep winning games, and I'm still like, no, I don't care.
I think that's over.
I still don't think they're that good. With the Raiders?
Yeah, I think they're done. Their time is done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like they got. All right, well they'll probably beat the Bears and the Broncos and the Eagles and the Giants, but I still don't think they're good. Just because they're gonna beat 4 bad teams ahead of them doesn't mean they're gonna be good.
Yeah.
Hell, the Raiders, looking at their schedule, they might end with a great record and still not be good.
Well, I mean, let's look. They beat the Ravens week 1,
That's
which was
good
that was
win.
their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They beat the Steelers, who are not good. They beat the Dolphins in overtime, who aren't good, and they lost by 2 touchdowns to the Chargers. So it's
Well,
not that impressive. 3-1's good, but that's not
no,
that
I
impressive.
know.
of
No one's
3-1.
saying it's impressive. I'm saying that their record could look impressive, as in what we just said. As in, they
Mhm.
could have, they could be, they could win these next 4 games and be 7-1 going into the Chiefs game. I still don't think they'd be a good team.
That's fair. I
Right?
don't think they'll win these next 4. I think they might go 2-2.
Well, I would, yeah. I don't know. I do like it when the Raiders are good, like just for the NFL standpoint.
Mhm.
That being said, I'm not gonna say like they're good just because I want them to be like just because I want to see the Raiders be good.
Yeah. Well, John Gruden coaching a relevant team is always exciting,
Oh,
and
definitely.
they haven't been since he's gotten there. So we're missing
And
out on like.
that guy needs to find a GM because all of their draft picks suck ass. Josh Jacobs doesn't exist anymore. Henry Ruggs does look good, but I don't know. Everyone else just doesn't even play. Like, I guess Jonathan Abrams plays.
Crosby's good. At Max.
Yeah, Max Crosby is good. That was a good pick. But I
And
feel
the
like
gay guy's good.
the gay guy
right?
is good. All the guys from that trade with the Bears, just none of. Oh no!
Offense of it is like you don't know.
You might
You're
have.
getting the guy.
You might just cut out for a second. You might want to do that again.
Start from the top.
Yeah, from this top of what you were just saying.
So when trades are made like that, where you're giving up a bunch of picks, you can always fall back and say, well, we don't know what these draft picks are going to look like. We know that we're getting a star.
Yeah.
And obviously that's why you do it. But it seems like most of the time it works out in the team's favor that traded for the star. In this case, it didn't really work out for either team because the Bears suck and have no picks, and the Raiders have a bunch of picks that aren't good. But the Bears had one good year with Khalil Mack.
That's true. And he's still a great player.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my last pick. This was just, they're just giving it to me. The Colts at the Dolphins.
You put in minus too. I think they were underdogs.
They were?
I think so.
There's no way this Colts team was underdogs against Jacoby Brissett.
They were 0-3.
I know, but the Dolphins are 1-3.
The Dolphins is a team that I was wrong about. I thought the Dolphins would be okay, and they look terrible. Maybe when Tua comes back, they'll be better, but I don't think Tua is all that good. Brissett's obviously not very good.
I said this last
He
week.
just sucked.
What happened to the running backs in this league?
What do you mean?
It went so fast from you can just get a running back whenever you want to like the Dolphins are running out with Malcolm Brown and Myles Gaskins. Like, what the hell are you guys doing?
Well, Gaskin was good last year.
Well,
In the games that he played, no, he's not good. And Malcolm Brown is like the guy that teams bring in just to be their third running back, and then he somehow sees the field.
So how's it? All right, I gotta ask, how does it feel to be Naheem Hind?
I won, so I'm not super pressed about it. But he had -1 point for 3 quarters.
He
Then
that's
mustered
just
one
how
more
he is,
catch.
man. And then when you bench him next week, he'll have 18. Like
Well,
that.
it was him. It was him or Kenyon Drake this week, and I think Drake got 0.2 points. So I actually made the right call.
Yeah,
McCaffrey's out. Those are my only 2 guys. So as bad as it looked, if I didn't start him, I would have lost the game. So he actually, looking back, let's see, he got me 1.1. Drake got 0.2, and I won by 1.9. Okay, so I wouldn't have lost, but it would have been a little bit closer.
Damn, that's a close game. I
know.
I got stomped.
Happens. I got lucky.
I have
didn't
a
score
good
many.
team too.
My team's good, but my 2 best players were out.
That's
So
fair.
it's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. All right, let's get through the rest of the games. Congrats, you beat the Falcons. You don't have to dismantle your team.
Right. I
Also,
needed
the
that
Falcons,
too.
they blew it again. God, these
They're
guys.
back.
They blew it again because,
They won a close one last week. It was uncomfortable. But here they are.
well, they're back.
They're back. The defense still sucks, so it's not like I'm super excited. I'm more like
Taylor
relieved.
Heineke looked like a god.
But Heineke looks good. And we have Curtis Samuel back. He looks like he's on
How
a
did he
snap
do?
count, but he only had like 3 catches.
Yeah, not bad.
Just
Terry.
having him out there.
Terry
Terry
looked
was incredible. Gibson was
Who the hell is DeAndre Carter?
not bad.
Because that guy got a punt return touchdown.
He's our kick returner. He also fumbled, but he was down, so it didn't stand. But
Oh, he's been in the league for a while. Oh, 5'8". That's why he's so shifty. Once the shifty player gets open field, it's game over.
It was exciting. I mean, Heineke's fun to watch. Like, we haven't had a quarterback that's been fun to watch since RG3. So it feels good to have someone that's at least like entertaining. They're still not good. I don't have any faith moving forward, but wore my jersey yesterday. It was still Victory Monday, so I'm happy.
I would like to, apologize, have a funeral, something. Send my regards to our Lord and Savior Davis Mills. He got crucified on the cross. He will be back in a week, and he's ready to torch the field. Actually, no, he's playing my team. Shit. I'm going to get resurrected by Jesus himself, and we're going to lose the Texans. Damn it. Davis Mills.
So we were right. If you've been listening long enough, we're actually right about Davis Mills.
Yeah,
during the draft, we were worried that he was going to go to our teams, so we didn't like him. And then once he went to Houston, it was like, all right, well, now he's our guy.
And our original take is the right take, which is that he's bad. But we're playing up that he's good because, it'd be funny.
Because he's so bad.
Because he's Davis Mills.
It's funny.
And I don't know, this poor guy has to go trot out there every week.
The thing with rookie quarterbacks that we always say is that situation matters so much. Your coaching, your receivers, your line. And he could literally not have a worse situation.
No, he can't. Yeah.
He's got this guy as a head coach who's been a wide receivers coach his whole career.
And a bad one.
Because no one wanted the job.
And not a good wide receivers coach.
Not a good one.
A bad
He's
one.
got drama within the organization. He's got one pretty solid receiver and a bunch of bums. He's got no running game and no offensive line.
And no defense.
And a horrible defense.
And he also has a quarterback that played well and won them a game that got injured in front of him. So now he's stuck and getting thrown in there.
Yeah, right. It's not like they timed it well.
No, and it's not like he came in.
We literally
like
have no one else to put in there. We have to put you in. And he's just like, all right, here we go.
It's like shit.
So it does suck for Davis Mills.
I feel bad.
But he looks so bad.
I look bad. I feel bad.
He looks really, really awful. It was also raining in that game, so
yeah. So rain games
take it with a
don't
grain
count.
of salt.
Rains don't count, right? Rain games don't count. Well, this game doesn't count for the Texans because they scored. So they might as well
you just gotta throw this one out if you're Davis.
It doesn't get much better, especially if he wants to pass. He'll just have to hand off the ball next week because run defense. But anyways,
that was an abysmal game.
Yeah. I'm confused about the Giants. I just don't get them.
I wouldn't be. Don't even think about this game because the team that is more confusing is the Saints.
That is true.
And they're settling into a pattern.
Yeah.
Which is look good, look bad, look good, look bad. We get him next week, unfortunately, so James is going to throw 6 touchdowns. So I am pretty terrified about that. But I could literally see that pattern continuing all year.
This hurts my eyes. Just go onto their stats.
400 yards for Daniel Jones.
Oh, that hurts my eyes. But just go on the receiving Saints and just look at the guys that he's throwing.
I mean,
God.
Taysom Hill was literally like their best player in this game.
Of course he was. Taysom Hill. Dude, I don't know. This team is so weird.
They
But
are weird.
I guess good for the Giants. Finally won again.
Yeah, I mean they got to win. Which, because I really just wanted the Giants to lose until Joe Judge got fired. Because I wanted the stories to keep building up of like, and this week at practice, Joe Judge made this guy run laps.
True.
And this guy said that he's losing the locker room. And it just keeps building up. But finally on the board.
The
So
actual
yeah, good
team
for
that
them,
I'd
I
be
guess.
concerned of if I were you is the team that just beat the brakes
Yeah.
off of our team,
I know.
which is the Dallas Cowboys. Chris, I hate to be the person to say this, but they're good.
I know.
And
Yeah,
your defense can't stop them.
Our defense can't stop anyone, so that's not news to me. But yeah, they do look good, which is scary.
And it wasn't even on Dak this time. They're
Nope.
just like, all right, we'll just run it down their throats. Panthers
I
can't
still
stop them.
bank on the fact that A, they're the Cowboys, so they won't do anything in the playoffs, and B, Mike McCarthy's their coach, and he's an
Yes.
idiot,
Yes,
which will
Mike
screw
McCarthy.
them at some point.
So that's really what's
But-
important. But
The Panthers didn't look bad in this game either.
no, that was the scary part. Because they didn't look bad.
But
I'd like to see, since I bet $50 on Chuba Hubbard, I'd like to see him produce a little bit more. But
well, they got down,
yeah, I know. They got down
and they
quick.
had to start
so-
throwing the ball, which is what Dallas does to teams.
Yeah.
I
And
am
then
worried
they,
about
And then
him,
they pick him
'cause-
off with, like, for some reason, the best defensive player. Defense, like, I don't know. Their defense is getting good, and that's scary.
It's like competent
yeah.
now, because last year you could
It
literally
exists.
just have your way with them.
Yeah, it exists.
They
this
were
year.
just
That's the
bodies
difference.
out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. The only way for us to get in the playoffs too is by winning the division, because the NFC's pretty tough,
Yeah.
and I don't know how it's gonna happen. I had
Hey,
that.
it's
as
only
I
week
was like,
5. It's only week 5, and you're tied for
I
first.
was walking home from class today. I had that, like, as I was listening to the post game stuff, I just had that thought, and I was like, you know what? We're just screwed. Like, we have no shot anyway. Nothing
Well,
matters.
my team might be the same way. We'll get to that in a sec. We'll talk about the Ravens Broncos real quick. There was some controversy at the end. And if you didn't see it, the Ravens ran a play on the last play of the game. They already had the game won. And Lamar ran it for 4 yards.
Yeah. Well, it was because they had a streak of 100-yard rushing games. I don't know
Oh,
how many
really?
it was in a row. Yeah, that's why they ran it. They needed like 3 yards to keep
they
the streak
did.
going.
They needed 3 yards, and they got 4.
So that's why they did it. And like that's something you do on Madden.
I was about to say,
I don't know why
that's not sportsmanlike.
now. And then he tried to say that the Broncos were running, like trying to score down 16 with however many seconds left. And it's like,
Yeah,
what did
that's-
you want them to do?
Yeah, you want to just give up?
Yeah, like the Ravens had the game won.
Yeah,
And
the
like I
Broncos
wouldn't
did.
be super pissed about it. I would just be mildly annoyed.
Yeah,
I can see
Vic
how
Fangio
Vic
was
Fangio-
livid.
But like in the heat of the moment, if I'm
No,
the coach on the
that's
sideline,
disrespectful. It's disrespectful to the other team.
Mhm.
And it's also disrespectful to give Le'Veon Bell number 17. What are we doing there? And I don't know. They should have killed Lamar. Like literally popped his head off.
Yeah. Hollywood Brown back. I guess he can catch now.
I guess he'll be
Dive
back.
and
Don't
catch in the
worry.
end zone.
Don't worry. He'll be back. He's
It
like
w-
the Saints are this year. He'll be back.
Yeah. It was a hard catch. That's why he made it. He's one of those guys
Yeah, it's true. He can't catch
that if
the
he's
easy ones.
wide open,
He can't catch the
he's
easy
dropping
ones.
it. Yeah. If he's got a second to think about it, he'll drop it.
All right.
If he's got to lay out.
The biggest game of the week. The most, I guess, anticipated game of the week. Do you want me to just take it? You want me to just take it?
Go
You
for
wanna
it.
start running? Oh, did you say? I didn't hear what you said.
Go for it. Yeah.
Alright.
Sorry.
Mac looks good. Mac looks good. The running backs look terrible. JJ Taylor, this will be the last snap you ever see of him after that fumble. He's done. You'll never see him the rest of the year. N'Keal Harry made a catch. I was like, hey, made a catch. Good shit, Nikhil. Like I saw him running around out there. I was like, hey, not
On
bad.
Sherm too, right?
On Sherm, yeah. Kobe Myers, I feel like he was wide open all game. Kendrick Bourne might be our best receiver. Hunter Henry's back. Jonnu Smith got a tutty. So it's looking. I'm just tired of more victories, but it's looking better.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking better, and I'm glad to know that we have the best rookie quarterback in Gorillaz. All I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you do.
Yeah.
Because everyone looks bad.
And Mac looks good.
I was impressed. That was the first Pats game that I'd watched all the way through, and yeah, he was solid. That's a good defense too.
Besides on the running backs, they can do everything besides stop any sort of running attack. And I don't know why. Like Tom looked bad. I'll admit that too. I think Tom looked bad.
He wasn't good.
Where he sailed a lot of balls, and I'm sure it's because of rain, but that must have been hard for him to do, right? To play with all these fans that adore him, and now they're booing at you, which I would have.
Yeah, had to have been.
Yeah, I would have booed so hard. And when he got sacked, dude,
Well, yeah, I mean, he had like
stood
the
up from
pregame ceremony.
Oh yeah, and he got cheered
So,
then. Yeah, he
right.
got cheered then. But, and I'm sure he got cheered after the game too. But when Judon got that sack too, I was pumped. It was weird rooting against him for the first time in my life. Truly rooting against him.
Yeah, I bet.
And I just knew, I knew the game was going to come down to this. I was like, that's how the game was going down. And when I've gone for it on 4th and 3, the more I think about it, the more I would.
So I said at the time, they should go for it. When I saw it was 56, when I saw his career long was like 50, it was 55, 56. It would have tied or beaten his career long.
I would have thought about
and it was raining.
And what I just thought about, what I thought about after the game is, even if he makes that, are we thinking Tom Brady's not going to
Brady's getting the ball back with just under a minute and 2 timeouts.
And it seems like, and it's in Gillette. It's not like it's, I don't know. So that sucked. The doink was unnecessary. that was just like, that was a real FU, was the doink. That was real.
Doinks are tough.
Nothing about the game was an FU. Like, Tom didn't look good. The Patriots looked better. And then that doink came, and I was just it was ridiculous. And what absolutely sucks, is I text my dad, and I go, I'm so glad we're the team this game that's not taking field goals. We're the ones that scoring touchdowns. Immediately after that, we're like on like the 5-yard line, and we have to kick a field goal. And then we have to kick a field goal to win the game. And I'm just like, I also text my dad. I was like, I just opened up my mouth too soon. Like that.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So
yeah, it's a bad feeling. The jinxing your own team.
Yeah, my thoughts.
It's brutal.
My thoughts for the going on in the rest of the season. Unless we lose next week to Davis Mills, if we lose to Davis Mills, I'm blowing up. But I think this will be a competitive team, but I don't think they're making the playoffs. I'll admit they're not going to make the playoffs, but I feel like they're going to be spoilers for some teams down the road. And that'll be nice.
And you have a rookie quarterback that, if he continues to look good, that's always what you can hang your hat on.
And if he can just look good, we have people like Nelson Aguilar and Hunter Henry that want to stay there and play there, and also Jalen Mills has looked great. So
Judon has as well.
Yep, Judon's looks good. We just got for the 3rd time, Mr. Jamie Collins is back.
Oh, he is?
Yes, he got officially signed right before the pod. So he's back, 3rd time. We're bringing the boys back together. He can't stay.
Why does he even go other places? Why doesn't he just stay there?
Because he's genius. He makes his bank, gets cut from the shitty ass team he joins, and then comes back to the Patriots. Like, he makes bank with the Lions.
It was the Browns before that, right?
It was Browns before that, and then loses, gets cut, and then goes back. And I don't know why they keep cutting him. They're just letting him go back to the Patriots.
Because they need the money.
I guess. And then the Bills just signs him for Vedman, and he plays 1 year and he gets like 5 sacks, earns money, goes somewhere else, does it again. I hope
he literally does. He's hacked the system.
I hope he just keeps doing it. I hope it just over and over again. He'll be on the Patriots like 8 times. That's or you know what else is a big takeaway from this game is I miss Sony Michel. I miss him a lot.
Not a Damian Harris fan anymore.
No, I am. I just think that sometimes when there's a change of pace, especially now that Mr. Reliable's out,
Mm-hmm.
Sony is just needed. I think he's needed. I'm not saying that's not a dismissive of Damian Harris because I think he's looked good, but
I mean, you'll defend Sony until the end of time.
I will.
There's some guys that everyone has. It's just like this guy will always have a soft spot.
I think Sony Michel's going to sit on the end of my fantasy bench for the next 8 years until he's finally retired. I'll draft him in the last round, and he'll just sit on the bench every year. I'll never. But I'd like to remind everyone, JJ Taylor not playing another snap. That guy.
Yeah.
Once you fumble for Belichick, especially in his
you're
biggest
done.
game of his career, at a big moment, you're never playing again. So that guy's done.
Good running backs too. Happened.
I know.
Ridley.
Yep.
Remember him fumbled once and never played again for
And it's
anyone
like-
really.
Yeah. JJ's done. And it sucks because he was a good change of pace guy, but fumbled at the wrong time.
Not allowed to fumble. Is there any grace because it was raining or?
I don't.
Still
Not.
done.
I don't, if you. I mean, that was a biggest regular season game, and he not the game's not on him, but I think we're winning that game if he doesn't fumble that ball. Also, already bad news coming from two of our offensive linemen. The best two, actually, one of them's good. One of them's not really good. I have COVID, so great.
Oh
Our
boy.
already terrible
Go
offensive
again.
line. Which, so you don't notice this because you don't really know all of the, you don't know the Patriots offensive line setup. But they had, at the end of, what was the last game? The Saints game. They had a lineup of these 5 guys that played well. And then Trent Brown he can't play this game either. They come out with the starting 5 with the right tackle who sucks, and they play him for the first half, and Mac Jones gets clobbered like 5 times. So then they come back, they switch it up again. The other right tackle does a little bit better, and then they switch it up to the lineup that they did at the end of the Saints game that looked better, and it looks great. It's like, why didn't you just start with that? It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm not personnel, so I guess I have nothing to say. But whatever.
You are not.
No. All right, that's all I gotta say. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I got out on my takes that game.
Yeah, I think you are. Oh, the fans, we gotta say are 0-2. Sorry, Lucas, who's both those picks, but 0-2.
Trying to play with the big boys.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, let's move on to something we haven't done in too long, Chris.
Yes.
Way too long. Top 5 things we always will find funny. And Chris, I don't care who went first last time because it's been so long. You came up with the good idea.
Yes. I wanted to go first. Because number 1 is the easiest pick.
Easiest pick of all time. Let's say it together.
Farts.
Oh, farts. No
What
way.
were you gonna say?
Oh, I have the best. I have a way better pick. All right, I have a personal.
Dude.
I have a personal vendetta against farts after Joseph McDonald farted in my face in the middle of.
I will
Science
never not find farts funny.
Farts.
Like, especially, I wrote too, especially in public.
Yes, of
If
course.
someone just rips a fart, I will laugh every time.
The thing is, when it's not in public and it's like, you just like, I don't know. They're just not as funny. It's like they're kind of gross. It's like all right, you just ripped one, right? It's like, oh, there's 2 of us sitting on the couch and you just rip one. It's like, oh,
Dude, just like
gross.
even the thought of it is making me laugh right now.
It's funny
You
when
put
it's
that
not.
image into my head of like
It's
2
funny when
guys sitting
you're
on the
farting.
couch. And
Yeah, but like
farts.
sometimes I find it gross. Okay, so it's not my number 1. But I do think
I mean,
farts
if
are
it's
funny.
silent and it's like if you have a stomach ache, then it's not funny. Then it just stinks. But
I just
if
think
it's
there
just
has
a
to
fart
be.
that's not harmful at all, It's funny every
It has to
time.
be the right timing fart. It doesn't have to be like if it's a non-harmful fart. You're right.
98% of farts are funny.
That's fair. That is fair. All right. I can't believe you didn't pick this as number one. Number one,
Have guess.
Lamar Jackson being a
Yeah,
running
okay.
back.
I had that one
It'll
on
never
my
not be
list.
funny because it makes them mad. When things are funny when you piss people off. So it's so easy when you just go, well, he's a great running back. Every time they lose a game and they lose their freaking mind, bringing up all their MVPs and his throwing stats, it's hilarious. There's nothing that's not funny about it. So
He did throw for 300 yards this week, which I was surprised
don't give
about.
a shit.
It's really,
Don't
really
give
good for really good
Yeah,
for
it's
a
really good for a running back.
back.
What is that now? Now it's his. I think it's his third game ever throwing for 300
Yeah.
yards. So congrats, Lamar Jackson. Congrats.
The best thing too is when I think it was last year, and it was either it was one of the past 2 years when they went off in week 1.
Oh,
And
against the
Harbaugh
Dolphins.
after the game was like, "Oh, pretty good for a running back, right?" And it's like, yeah. And then you made the playoffs, and he literally could not throw.
It's too easy.
Like literally couldn't do it.
It's too easy, man. It's way too easy. So
It
that's
really
my
is,
number one.
yeah. It never gets old.
All right.
All right, my number 2. That was my number 2, actually. But my next one is Cosmo Kramer.
Oh,
In any circumstance,
yes, Cosmo Kramer is
never
always
get.
funny.
I mean, the whole show in general, but literally, like, I could just watch Kramer all day, every day, and it would never get old.
He's a staple. There's a reason why he's hanging up on my wall. He's just, yeah,
And mine.
yeah. He's the goat. He's the he's the best part of the show. But my next pick is actually that's my third pick, so I'll save it. But Kramer. There's not if you haven't seen Seinfeld, it's now on Netflix. No excuse.
Mhm.
No excuse.
Big
Everyone's got
things.
Netflix. So go watch that. My number 2 is People Falling. People Falling will never not be funny.
Yeah.
And
Especially if it's just like a full blown slip.
oh yeah, if it's a trip, a slip, and I catch myself because sometimes like the people are in dangerous situations and they are really hurting themselves, and I will not. I will laugh. I'm sorry. Like I'm sorry. It's not because I don't like them. It's not because I half the time I don't even know who they are. But it's funny.
The worst is like when old people fall,
'Cause
and
it's
you just
funny.
can't help it.
It's so funny.
Like when Joe Biden was walking up the steps
Oh, and he
to
tripped?
the plane and tripped and then tripped like 2 more times. It's like he's so old, and what if he got hurt? Look at him.
Look at him trip. Anyway, dude, it could like I don't know. My mom always says I got it from my mom, and she's like, you could fall down the stairs, and I'd laugh before I make sure you're like I'd make sure you're okay, and then I'd laugh a lot.
Right.
Yeah, it'll never not be funny. It's making someone.
My number 3, which is kind of similar, is people getting hit in the nuts.
Oh,
And you can feel the pain, but then after like the initial, it's so funny.
This was this is a real life example. My former roommate nailed my still current roommate and roommate last year in the nuts with a wiffle ball bat, and at first I thought it was hilarious, and then he was actually in pain, and it was still a little funny, but I felt bad.
Yeah. Well, sometimes even if it happens to me, it's funny as long as it's not like soul crushing.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that was soul crushing. That was
Mhm.
soul crushing, and it was like when it happened. Oh, I hooted and hollered. But I really felt bad afterwards.
And it was such a. I don't feel bad, but like I know the pain, but like it's just something you got to go through. Happens
Yeah,
to
you got to get hit in
everyone.
the nuts.
And it's so the best thing about it is it's so dramatic because it never looks bad. It's not like a punch to the face. Or
No,
anything.
yeah, it's
The way that you just cripple over and lay on the ground. As long as someone doesn't throw up. If someone throws up, then it's like, oh, that's gross.
yeah, then it's like nasty. All right, my next one. This is a twofer because it's a little it's not cheating. You'll see. Jerry Seinfeld / Larry David.
Okay.
If you ever watched Curb, every episode's funny.
hmm
Ever watch Seinfeld, every episode's funny.
Yeah.
It's
Even the stand-up is funny.
yep, their stand-up's great. You know what's funny? That might be one of my favorite parts of the show. After rewatching a lot of episodes recently, is their
Really?
I love the stand-up at the beginning. I think it's
hmm
hilarious, and I don't know. There's just something about how witty they both are and mean. Like they're mean, so it's
Yeah.
funny. And when someone's honest like that to people, just funny.
Well, he's so good, and both of them really are so good at just picking up on little things that, or like observing little things that annoy people or make people angry that literally everyone can relate to.
Yes.
Like there are things that they'll write in that at first you're like, what's wrong with this character? Like, why are they taking this little thing so seriously? And then you're like thinking about it, like, that is pretty annoying though. Stuff like the man hands.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, like he's such a jerk
But
breaking
it's
up
like
with someone because they're man hands, and it's like that's kind of gross.
the
Like,
other
what would
the
you
other
do?
thing that's genius about both of them is they when I just mentioned they're mean, they're always trying to do the right thing. It's just it's what's right for like they have soft spots too, and they do the right things, and it always comes back to screw them in the most comedic possible like funniest way they could possibly ever do it, and it works every time.
hmm Yeah,
It's
there's not a bad episode.
no, and there's not like a there's never any jokes where you're like you're right. It's relatable. Everything is relatable. Where it's like,
Mhm.
well, that's something I would do, or that's something that makes sense. So
Yeah, and it's not cringe either.
no, yeah, and it's not like not to take jabs at The Office. I still think it's a great show, but it's not like it's not a cringe fest to make you laugh. It's
hmm
more. I think it's. It's not. It's gonna sound. It's smarter. I think it's smarter comedy that
hmm
they pick.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's the best.
Yes.
There was a thing on
The
Barstool
best,
posted today.
Jerry. The best.
They posted in there like, what's the most rewatchable show of all time, and it's Seinfeld by like a pretty margin.
Yeah.
So
All right.
anyway, I feel like every time Seinfeld gets on the list, it's just that turns into
It's like when
us talking
Godzilla
about.
ruined the
Yeah,
episode.
right.
'Cause nothing was cooler than Godzilla, and nothing's
We're
funnier
not-
than Seinfeld. So
What was it? Top 5 lizards? And
Yeah, and
Godzilla was one, and we didn't even want to do
we
the
didn't want to do the
of
rest. We're like, nothing's as cool as Godzilla.
it.
I'll figure out my
All
lighting
right.
one day.
My number 4, we'll go back to memes. I want Iguodala.
Oh, I want
Will
Iguodala.
always be fun.
I can't believe I didn't have that on my list.
It's so great. Every time I see it, because you get the reaction from Stephen A. where he's just so angry. It's just
The best part ever is that I listened to an interview with it was Max Kellerman and Ryan Russillo, and he's talking about that comment, and Ryan asked him like, "What was going through your head when you said that comment?" He goes, he's like, "Look, at that moment of time, Steph Curry could create his own shot better than Iguodala can, but if it's wide open, game on the line." I want Iguodala. Like he's doubled down. He still wants Iguodala. Give me Iguodala. It's greatest sport NBA meme of all time. It's so funny.
It really is funny. If you don't know what we're talking about, just look up.
I want Iguodala.
and
That's
it'll
all you need to
come
look up, and
immediately.
you'll find it. And even if you don't know who Steph Curry is or Iguodala is, it's still funny just because the room is just silent. I want Iguodala, and everyone just looks at him. Just like, what are
Huh?
you talking about?
Isaiah Thomas is on the set too, and Isaiah Thomas is always smiling, so it just catches him, and he's just like,
He's just he's lost, absolutely lost. I'm gonna add this to my honorable mentions. Sorry. Go ahead. Oh, and I'm the next one. All right.
yeah, you're up.
Next one is SpongeBob. The second funniest
Mhm.
show of all time. The first 4 seasons, of course.
Yeah. So
Uh,
I was gonna put in SpongeBob memes,
I
but
just
I
think SpongeBob as
guess
a
the
whole,
show
it
in
all
general.
counts, right?
Mhm.
So SpongeBob's the way to go. SpongeBob, there's rewatching it is funny. Even some of
Mhm.
the bad episodes are funny.
Yeah.
And look at your phone right now. Scroll 5 seconds on Instagram. You'll find SpongeBob within 2 minutes.
Mhm.
Like SpongeBob is such a big part of our culture that literally, I'm not even joking. That
I
he
know.
is such a big part of this culture, and growing up in the time that we grew up as, SpongeBob is our humor. You know,
Mhm.
that's that's what we grew up, and that's what we still grow, what we still laugh at today.
Mhm.
So it has to be on the list.
Yeah. I mean, even just like hearing someone do the voices makes me
Hmm.
laugh. Like if I hear a good SpongeBob impression, it makes my day.
Yeah.
Or anyone from the, not just SpongeBob,
Anyone
but
from the
any of the
show.
characters.
The Mr. Krabs impersonations are hilarious. The Squidward
Mhm.
ones, like every character in that show is like perfectly crafted. Just
Mhm.
I feel Seinfeld is too. I feel like they're
Right.
just perfectly crafted for comedy.
Mhm. Just for a slightly different age group, which is the
Yeah.
same audience because it's
Hmm.
us. All
Yep.
right, my last pick. I just threw another show on there that'll be an honorable mention, but I'm gonna stick with Twitter memes and go with the Tom Brenneman apology when he's apologizing for saying a slur on
Oh
air,
yes.
and the guy hits the home run during the apology. That and people will just put it. You know what? Can we stop the top five? We didn't talk about Urban Meyer.
Oh crap! You're right.
Can we, should we do that now or finish the top? Because
Let's
I was
finish.
just
Let's
thinking about
finish. We're in the
apologies.
middle of it. We'll finish,
So
and we'll
whenever
end.
there's like somebody apologizing on Twitter, somebody will put that in there and just like begin an apology, and then it's like blah 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 blah. As here's a drive into deep left field by Castellanos. It will be a home run, and that'll make it a 4-0 game. And it never gets old. And there was one time where somebody tried to like end it, and they tweeted out, and they're like, this Brenneman thing really isn't funny anymore. I know why you guys think it's funny. It's so overused. And the whole comments were just flooded with, no, yeah, you're right. Sometimes on Twitter we overuse stuff as there's a drive deep into left field. It'll be a home
It's
run.
what's crazy is that the guy who hits the home run, have you seen the stat of all the tragic events that he just hits a home
Yeah,
run
and
during
he
the
popped up on Twitter. Because there's the account it's like the MLB home run update. They literally just tweet whenever someone hits a home run. And there's multiple examples. Have them saved
Didn't he hit one
of
during
like
the 9/11 like memorial thing this September?
something like that. Well, there was this one, man found dead in Met Stadium, and then next is Nick Castellanos. Whatever.
Dude,
It's
it's
such a
insane.
weird
It's
trend.
so weird. And it's kind of scary.
It's scary. Our thoughts are with A's pitcher Chris Bassett, who left today's game on a cart after taking a line drive to the head. Nick Castellanos,
All right.
solo home run.
My last and final one is something that is actually it's pretty mean, but it's me making fun of people for smoking nicotine. It will always be funny, and I will never feel bad. And I'll tell them. I'll tell them straight to their face. Look, man, you know it's bad for you. I'm not like that. Just because it's bad for you and you still do it doesn't mean I don't get to make fun of you for it. Like, what is that?
Fair.
I don't get to make fun of you because you're poisoning your lungs and you know it. Like, you know damn well what you're doing. It's not like it's not like it didn't like it's not like we didn't know this, right?
Hmm.
So I should be allowed to make fun of you for it.
Fair.
So I will always find it funny because they sometimes they get mad and then sometimes they're just like, yeah, you're right, and I'm like, and I find that satisfaction too. And it's not like I don't know.
I don't like people telling me I'm right. I'd rather have them get angry.
Oh yeah, it's much rather. But either way, I'm just like, well, I'm the winner here, so
Hmm.
it's a joke that can never backfire because yeah.
All right. Honorable mentions. I had Peter Griffin on there.
Yes.
That and the the Joe Swanson voice.
Oh, Joe.
Also, it's
Hey,
just like,
hey, Peter.
hey, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
I was walking into the dining hall yesterday, and when you walk in the dining hall, you use your hand to like swipe, and your name will come up. It'll say like access granted.
Yeah.
And the kid in front of me, he swiped to access granted Peter, whatever. And as soon as I saw Peter, it was just like
Hey,
brain
Peter.
association. I just thought, hey, Peter.
Hey, Peter. Yeah, no, the Peter Griffin's hilarious. He's another staple.
And then I had regular show,
Oh, regular show.
which is obviously a classic.
Yes, regular show is a classic. And that's another one. Every episode's funny. You're not gonna find a bad episode of regular show. All right, I have a lot.
Okay.
Boner jokes. Boner jokes are always funny. The Falcons choking, always will be funny.
That's funny.
Poop.
Yeah, poops. When I was thinking, like, all I could think of is just like someone pooped their pants. Like, that's always gonna be funny. It's like I'm not gonna put that on my like. I literally can't think of other things that are actually funny other than pooping your pants.
The Lonely Island, always
Yeah.
funny. And yelling. I think yelling's funny.
Just like in random situations.
I think when I yell, it's funny. I think
Uh-huh.
when other people yell at me,
You
like
do. You always laugh after you yell when someone like tells you to be quiet.
because I think it's funny. I don't know, and I'm already loud, so I might as well yell.
So,
But what's actually funny is like you can't tell me when you're sitting in elementary school or middle school and the teacher's reaming you guys out that it's not the funniest thing. Like you get a bad note from the substitute. Oh, it's gold. Comedy gold.
we had a teacher get up on the cafeteria table one time and ream us out. And like we were all scared at the time, but looking back, it's hilarious.
Oh, like when teachers roll up at lunch, no more flipping bottles. It's just you guys
Yeah.
like, and everyone in the class
Squeaking the
starts flipping
feet.
them. Everyone's just all going up in the air. It's hilarious. It is so funny. So
Yeah. The
Yeah.
lunch lady one time tried to yell at us because we kept squeaking our feet in the cafeteria. A lot went down in the cafeteria.
clearly, dude. That.
Yelling is funny. That's a good pick.
Thank you. The only time it's not
any-
getting funny is when your parents are yelling at you. That's the only time it's not funny.
That's true.
That's not funny. Okay.
Um,
Oh wait, I
any
have one
word-
more.
Oh, yeah.
The last one, and this is what I thought of when you I don't know, like when you were talking about Isaiah Thomas, but I don't know what went into the process. I met the criteria to be selected,
Yeah.
but I wasn't.
Right.
I will always find that funny. That meme will always be in good use and a good
Mhm.
spot in my heart.
Yeah. Any word like wiener or chub
Yep.
that reminds you of penises
Yeah.
will always be funny.
Dong's funny.
Dong, yeah. Bang.
Wang, yep. A newer one that you taught, Womp. Well, that's not a wiener one, but it's funny. Womp is funny. I didn't expect, like, I don't know. People that I say it to do not find it funny because I just like,
No.
like something will happen. I'll just turn around and be like, Womp. They will not. Oh, you know what else is funny? Wah! Wah!
Oh,
will
yeah.
always,
Did we not have that one on there?
always be funny.
The
I don't know how
Waluigi
wah
Waz might be the funniest thing ever.
it's always. Especially when you have to do your teacher tells the class that they have to do push-ups every time they say wah. and then we roll up with a big recording and it's just, wah.
I hope someone in that class is listening to this episode.
They know.
At
They know
least
who they
someone
are.
will understand.
All right, really quickly. Let's
Also the meme, the Stephen A, where he's like, "I'm having a very bad
oh,
day." That one.
Yes. That will always be funny too.
The music behind it.
Oh, when those edited, we could have done 2 of these lists.
Yeah, we could have done memes and then things in
Yeah.
general because I had to mix them up.
We could do a memes one eventually. It's still
Yeah,
it's
that's
still
true.
It's still in play. All right, Urban Meyer. This is such a discombobulated podcast. We're back on sports.
Well, the apology reminded me because Urban Meyers had to apologize to everyone under the sun in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, because he's a freaking moron. He's doing it on purpose. You think I'm serious? I think he's trying to get fired.
again, not
I wouldn't put it
impossible.
past him. He's trying to get fired so he can
Yeah.
get the USC job.
And yeah. I've seen so many reports too that are like a lot of closed door meetings happening in Jacksonville.
I saw that too.
None of them are about the Titans game. It's like, oh boy.
So
And Urban's just sitting there like, yes, please
Urban's
already.
sitting there like, finally, I'm leaving Jacksonville.
He's already making calls to recruits.
He probably he's calling up Trevor Lawrence. He's like, you know any friends that like want to play at USC? Do you have any of your buddies at Clemson want to transfer? USC?
Oh, he's searching
He
for
can't keep
houses
getting
already
away
in
with
LA.
this.
Huh?
He can't keep getting away with this.
No,
He can't just kibosh himself after every situation that goes poorly. Or it doesn't even go poorly. He just doesn't feel like playing there anymore. Like
We like faked a heart attack in Florida.
I know. And then now at Ohio State, it was health concerns. He retired, and then a year later, he's back. It's like, I don't know. He's got to be caught. He needs to be caught, and he needs to be locked up.
I think everyone's onto it now.
They have to be.
And I think we're just like, you know what? It's so funny. Just let him keep going. The more apologies that we can get out of him is the better.
Apology.
Like, I just love
also,
hearing
it's
him
even funnier
apologize.
now that he apologized for losing after week 1.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said 2 weeks, because he apologized that they sucked.
And now he's apologizing because he put his finger in some girl's butthole.
The best part of that, in my opinion, is that he didn't fly him with the team.
Oh,
He stayed in Ohio just for that. And the picture on the wall at the bar, the club that he was at, literally there's one of him like with his wife as they're winning a championship. It's so terrible. And his wife posted something too. It's like her with the grandkids, and she's like, yeah, Urban needed a night out. And it's like, I don't know if that's what you expected from a night out.
Jesus. What a scumbag.
He's so awkward too in the video.
Oh yeah, he's an old man.
Because he knows that people are like videoing him, but he's just like kind of sitting there like this. It's creepy.
He's a weirdo. He's a weird dude. Well, I'm glad we got that in, and that does it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we can talk about this afterwards, but we discuss some about Friday. We got to do it Friday. We have to. I'm leaving for Tennessee at some point on Friday, so I'll let you know what works. All right, we'll see everyone either Thursday or Friday because we're gonna get another pod in this week. So see you guys then. Stay safe, and